Hello there! Welcome to the first ever episode of Public Domain Raiders here on MCGTV. I'm really excited about this particular series actually because it's going to be tapping into quite a few things that I used to do over at blip.tv. Blip.tv, such a joyous time when fair use was fully enforced and we didn't have to worry about greedy corporations coming in and taking our well-deserved ad revenue. So, let me just give you a quick rundown of what to expect with this show, and then we'll get into the feature for this particular episode. Basically, Public Domain Raiders is going to be divided up into two segments. The first segment serving as sort of an introduction video or primer video before you get into the actual riffing of a feature. And here I'll maybe give a little bit of information regarding the film or why I chose a particular selection. And then we'll get into the actual audio commentary for the movie. Now you're probably asking yourself, Mike, why don't you just post up all these movies onto your site if they are in the public domain and are free of copyright? Well, even though there are selections that are very much in the public domain realm, it still gets pretty tricky and fickle when it comes to whether or not those copyrights are still left in the air or if someone has finally claimed them or not. And in recent memory, there have been a couple of, again, greedy corporations or entities that are out there claiming videos that are fully within their rights of fair use and public domain usage and taking away the ad revenue from the channels. For example, for this particular film, I became aware of certain overseas companies that are claiming the full film as their property, even though, guess what? Their only focus is creating Bollywood movies. God-awful Bollywood movies, and this movie doesn't actually show up anywhere in their distribution catalog. And to go along with that, there is a god-awful techno soundtrack created by some artists out there that was put to this particular movie a couple years back. But now if you play the regular movie on your channel, they'll claim the audio as being from their original soundtrack made up of public domain audio. Not really that fair, right? So yes, as much as I would love to post the full movie on here, complete with the riffs, in a seamless integration, I want to play it safe and be able to get what's coming to me from my hard work with regards to riffing and with regards to providing some commentary for it. So let's not waste any time, let's just get started talking a little bit about the granddaddy of not just public domain movies, but of horror movies in general. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Yes, there have been remakes and sequels galore, but you can't beat the timeless classic that is 1968's Night of the Living Dead. And I figured it's almost Halloween, so this would be very appropriate to kick off this new series with. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy this movie a lot, just from a pure filmmaking standpoint. And it is very much responsible for a lot of the tropes that we find ourselves enjoying in modern day zombie and horror movies. This is kind of the film that started it all when it came to the zombie apocalypse and the kind of weird social commentary it provided at the time. But it's not without some faults, of course. I'd say losing the copyright on day one is a big flag. Certainly some of the effects are a little chintzy and cheesy for modern day audiences. And yeah, there's some pretty hilarious acting choices in here. They're coming to get you, Barbara. So I feel it's a perfect movie to kind of start these loving jabs with. Again, I enjoy the movie very much, but there is a lot to make fun of, I'm not going to deny it. And there's got to be some kind of long-lasting appeal for this type of film, since it's not only the gold standard for a lot of modern-day zombie horror flicks, but is also one of the most downloadable public domain movies out there. Alright, so I'm going to give you some time. Go to internetarchive.org, look up Night of the Living Dead, download it, or start streaming it on there, and I'll meet you over on the commentary track where I'll give you further instructions. See y'all later. And they're coming for you, Barbara dear.